Good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful morning, as you can see, and I just thought I'd do a quick video. Sorry if I'm squinting. Beautiful sunshine. I've got a few errands to run. I need to top up my travel card and my iCocker, and run into town and do a few bits. But as it was such a glorious morning, I thought you might appreciate a little video. So this is part of the view. There's some, what I think are probably natural bamboo growth here, and just down the road here there's a small bamboo grove. And yesterday I noticed there was a path going up into the bamboo grove, and I'd never been up there, so I just thought I'd check it out. And it's only a short walk. It comes out into a small park for children, but it's just quite an interesting little diversion, so I thought we'd have a look along there this morning. It's quite windy, but it's not so cold. I think it's going to top out at about 10 degrees today. It's been pretty cold the last few days, so this is Ashiya. You can probably see behind me there's some nice houses, and up here some pretty nice apartments. It's fortunate that it's our home here in Japan. It's Japan's wealthiest city, I understand, so it's kind of Bel Air in the States, or Chelsea and Kensington in London or something. I'm not really used to doing these on-camera things yet, so if I seem a bit awkward, that's why. Also, I've just passed an old lady who's looked at me a bit quizzically. I don't like being the gaijin who stands out. That's not really why I'm here. I want to blend in. But anyway, here's this. I'll just show you. So that's where we've just come from. And here is the bamboo grove. You can possibly hear some running water. That's Japan is very mountainous, and if you look up there, I'll zoom in. Up there in the distance, that's Hyogo Mountain. And what you'll find is quite often overnight there's a lot of rainfall, and they have these well-engineered channels everywhere to let the water naturally run away so as not to cause any flooding or disasters. So as a fan of running water, I really quite like to hear that. So that's what they do, and that's the water noise that you can hear, if you can hear it. I'm going to just stay off camera for a little bit and just show you the sights. So this is the way down towards Ashiya station. That's the path I mentioned. I won't go up there today. I'll do that for another day, I think, but just wanted to show you that. You'll see lots of these mirrors on the corners so that cars can see what's coming around the corners. Very twisty, narrow roads here. Just round the corner here on the left, there's a house where they have a couple of cats. I'm a bit of a cat fan, and no matter what the weather, no matter how freezing it is, there's a little mat outside on the terrace where this cat sits day in, day out, and he doesn't seem to mind the cold, or she doesn't seem to mind the cold at all. Even when doesn't even seem to be phased when they're surrounded by, I walked past there the other day and there were 7 crows right next to the cat, and the cat was just sort of, yeah, whatever, not really taking any notice. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. This is what I like about winters in Japan. Compared to England, these sorts of days are a rarity. I mean, literally a handful in a couple of months. In England, it's quite often overcast, grey. You rarely see the sunshine. And when I was a kid, I was quite into winters. I used to really look forward to them. Obviously perfect if it was covered in snow, but not always. But yeah, I didn't mind the cold and so on. But as I've got older, strangely, yeah, I've not had such an affection for the cold. I still love the snow, and I do love winter, but in moderation now. So that's why our plan at the moment is to spend winters here in Japan, where they're nice and sunny and you do get some warm days, and the summers in the UK, where, you know, they're not hot, but you know, they're decent enough, and they're dry and they're sunny most of the time. Okay, make that some other time. Slightly odd, the thing with the call these zebra crossings in the UK. I don't know what you call them everywhere else, but yeah, here in Japan they don't kind of operate how they do in the UK. In the UK, when a pedestrian gets onto the crossings, the traffic stops, is expected to stop, and you can cross, and then the cars continue on their way. In Japan, they don't always stop. They sometimes stop, they don't always stop, and that can be a bit disconcerting. I think I read somewhere that there's a rule that if the traffic's turning left onto the crossing, they've got right of way over the pedestrian, but I'm not entirely sure if that's right. I mean, you do see that, but it can be a bit random. And I have to say, compared to the UK and most other countries I've been to, the courtesy shown by drivers to pedestrians is incredible. I mean, if you're crossing the road when you shouldn't, you know, quite often you'll get the car pulls, the driver will wave you forward, and yeah, you can continue on your way. I just wanted to show you here on the right hand side. This place is a great little bakery and cafe called Ryo's, and you can read a bit more about Ryo's on the website. I've written a small article about the place and the guy that runs it. It's I remember when he opened it, I don't know how long ago, it must be 6 years ago or so now. There was a sort of an old stone baker's oven in there, so you can make bread. And yeah, it was closed for a while, and then he reopened it, which was great, and started baking fresh bread again. So yeah, a lot of the bread that you get here in Japan is that really inch thick, completely white, not the best bread in the world, frankly, but in Ryo's you can get some decent bread. So that's a continuation of the storm drains that I was talking about a few moments ago, and yeah, onto the station. So I've just stepped off the main road, and as soon as the traffic disappears, it's absolutely silent here. It's lovely. A little bit further up here on the left hand side you've got a really nice, I guess you'd kind of call it a food hall. It's kind of a little bit like a cross between a tiny version of Harrods and what's the other place in London? I forget the name. Anyway, yeah. Just up here on the left is a really nice food hall. They've got a machine in there that freshly grinds peanuts so you can have peanut butter. I won't go there now, but I'll show you that another day because that's well worth a visit. And sort of down there and at the end and to the right, there's a little antique shop which specialises in French antiques. The guy imports them from France and sells them here. The French thing, there's quite a lot of Francophiles in Japan. And yeah, he's one of them. A little bit further up here on the right hand side is Cafe Roku, R-O-K-U. It's tiny and they don't do much in there other than they've got a bar which got quite a good sort of selection of beers and spirits and stuff, and they do really good freshly ground coffee. And the couple of times I've been there, I've had the Colombian coffee. It's really gorgeous. And the nice thing about it is when you get close to the shop, as the cafe, as you're walking up to the door, you can actually smell the coffee before you actually open the door. It's lovely, really enticing. But one of the best things about it, apart from that great coffee, is it looks like something out of a Hayao Miyazaki, a Studio Ghibli film, because the roof of the cafe is completely covered in grass, and during the summer it's not unusual to see the owner up on the roof cutting the grass. It's just so cool and so cute as well, but also obviously very eco-friendly, which is good. We like eco-friendly. Yeah, it's we popped in there the other day actually to have lunch, and I forgot that the extent of their lunch menu is toast, cinnamon toast or cheese on toast, and that's it. So yeah, not extensive on the food front, but worth it for the coffee. And I'm not a big drinker, but it has got a really nice bar there on the ground floor. There's 2 floors in there. It's tiny though. I think there's only maybe two tables upstairs, one that seats 4 and one that seats 2. Actually, I'll stay on this side so you can see the cafe. That building there is fairly new. Seems to be on the ground floor a dentist's and apartments above. Here's the local garage where they service the cars. Some nice cars there as usual. It's Ashiya, Porsches, Mercedes, BMWs, Rolls Royces, Jaguars. Yeah, all those sorts of foreign cars they love. So here we are, just coming up on the right hand side is Cafe Roku. I'll just show you that. See what I mean about the looking like something from a Studio Ghibli film. So I'm just turning away. Well, that guy goes in there. I don't want to impose on his privacy. Okay, here we go. So there we go. That's Cafe Roku, you can see up here the grass roof. Nice little terrace. That's the point, I haven't sat out there. Good to do that on a day like this. It's getting quite warm now in this direct sunlight. Cafe Roku. Open 11 AM to 9 PM. I think it's 7 days a week. And that's the extent of the coffee and tea menu, if you can see that. Maybe not. But yeah, gorgeous little place. I think it's a woman that runs it on a daily basis. So whether she owns it or not, I don't know. I think she might do. Difficult to say. But anyway, yeah. Cafe Roku, lovely place, well recommended. Okay. Before I came out, I may have made the mistake of putting on some leggings because I'm actually quite hot now. I am wearing a scarf and a very warm jacket as well, besides, mind you. So, yeah, maybe I can loosen the layers a bit. Just on the right here, used to come out of this tunnel. And just here was a vending machine, which I actually used to use fairly often, but I arrived here a couple of weeks back and the vending machine is no more, and there's some actually quite nice looking apartments. There's a sign up here for them. Ashiya S Design Building, Sarah Seke Inc. I guess that's the company that designed them.